Okay, welcome to Blender Toolbox. In this video, we'll be creating a basic snowman, so let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is delete the default cube. We'll do that by clicking on the X key and then selecting Delete. The first parts we'll create are the three spheres that will make up the snowman's body. Go to the Add menu in the upper left and select Mesh, then select UV Sphere. Go to the Outliner panel and rename the object to Sphere Head. Next, we'll add the Subsurface modifier to smooth out the object. In the Properties panel, go to the Add Modifier tab and select on the Subdivision Surface modifier. In the Levels Viewport field, increase to level 4 to fully smooth the sphere. Hit the G key, which stands for Grab, followed by the X key to restrict the movement to the X-axis, and then we'll move our first part off to the side. Hit the G key followed by the Z key to restrict movement to the Z-axis. By hitting the 7 key on the numpad, you can view by top or looking down through the Z-axis. Then move the sphere to where you want it. What's nice when you're in this mode is you can then move around just within the X and the Y axis. Next, we'll duplicate the sphere. Click on the Shift key followed by the D key, then hit the Return or Enter key. G then X, and move the sphere. Rename the sphere Body Middle. Repeat those steps for the body lower. Next, we'll create the snowman's hat. We'll start with the rim of the hat. Go to the Add menu, select Mesh, then select Circle. Go to Edit Mode by going to the upper left where it says Object Mode, and select Edit Mode from the drop-down. Or alternatively, you can hit Control Tab, and then select Edit Mode from the pop-up menu. The first thing we'll do is fill the circle by clicking on the F key for fill. In the Select mode in the upper left, select Face Mode. Next, we'll extrude the circle. Go to the Mesh menu and select Extrude, or simply hit the E key. It will restrict movement along the Z-axis by default. Next, we'll add the top of the hat. Go to the Add menu and select Cylinder. Click on S for Scale, then click on G and then Z. Go to the Properties panel, select the Modifier tab, choose the Subsurface Division modifier. You'll notice that the object looks odd. This is because the Subsurface modifier creates an arc between the edges. We'll need to add edge loops. Edge loops will create a smaller space between the two edges, resulting in a tighter edge. We'll select the Loop Cut tool and we'll add our edge loop. And then we'll move it up. Create another one, move it down. Do it again up top, once more towards the bottom. Then we'll do the same thing to the rim. In the Subsurface modifier Levels Viewport, we will move that up to 4. And then we could switch back to Object Mode by selecting Object Mode in the upper left. And then we'll move our hat over by selecting G and then X. Hit 7 on the number pad for a top-down view. Next up will be the carrot nose. So go to the Add menu, select Mesh, and then select Cylinder. Click Control Tab to go to the Edit mode. Select the top edge, and then the S key to scale. Select the G key, then Z to drag up. Next, we'll add a Subsurf modifier. As expected, it creates an odd shape, so we'll need to add loops. At the bottom, notice the edge isn't smooth. This is a result of the circle polygon at the bottom. To smooth the edge, we'll inset the loop. Click on the I key for Inset and drag. We'll do this to the top as well. Return to Object Mode. Then we'll add a couple more levels to the viewport. Then scale and move off to the left. Next up will be the pieces of coal that will make up the eyes, mouth, and buttons. Go to the Add menu, select Mesh, then Cylinder. Select S to scale down. Go to Edit Mode. Go to the Properties panel and add a Subdivision surface modifier. Add loop cuts. And for now, we won't worry about the coal texture. We'll just make a simple puck shape. Add the insets on top and bottom. Increase the subsurface levels. Select G, then X, and then move the object off to the left. Next, we'll create the stick arms. Go to the Add menu, select Mesh, then Cylinder. Select S to scale down. Go into Edit Mode with Control-Tab. Go to Face Select. Select the top of the cylinder, then G and Z. Go back to Object Mode and Scale. Next, we'll duplicate twice. Scale down. Rotate. Reduce the other side. Rotate. Then we'll select each piece and join by clicking Command or Control J. Add a subsurface modifier. Then add loop cuts. Add the insets. A couple more loop cuts. Go to Object Mode and move the object off to the left. We'll start by assembling the spheres for the body. Select the spheres and move them over to the right. Stack the spheres one on top of another. We'll start with the lower, followed by the middle, scale, then the head, scale, the hat is up next. Select the hat and move it to the right. Move into position. Scale. And rotate. Next is the carrot nose. Select the nose, move into position, size down, rotate, move into position, scale. Placement of the coal pieces is next. Select the puck, move it into position, rotate, size down, move into position, scale, then duplicate and move into position. So from here I'll speed up the video, which shows a series of duplicating, placing, and rotating. Okay, next we'll add the stick arms. Select the stick, move to the right, scale, go into edit mode, select the face at the bottom and expand the selection. Click on G, then Z to shorten. Rotate. Duplicate and rotate. That concludes the model building part of creating a basic snowman. And next up is lighting. First, go to the viewport shading icons in the upper right and click on the rendered view. In this view, there's an initial default light. We'll add additional lights to the view. Go to the top-down view by selecting 7 on the number pad. Duplicate each light for side, back, and front. And that will give us some basic lighting. Next up, we'll be adding color. We'll start off by coloring the hat. Select the hat and go to the Properties panel, and then to the Materials tab. Add a material, name the material, select the base color, and we can repeat this for the rest of the parts. And there you have it, a basic snowman. That concludes the Blender Toolbox Basic Snowman tutorial. If you found this useful, Please give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.